Welcome to Season 3 of the Miscarriage Rebellion. I'm Sam Payne. I'm the founder and current CEO of Pink Elephants Support Network. Pink Elephants is all around raising awareness, support and advocacy for those who experience the heartbreak of early pregnancy loss, because we ultimately believe that no one should walk the journey of pregnancy loss alone, that everyone deserves their circle of support. Within the elephant community, if a mother elephant loses her baby, the other elephants form a physical circle of support around her. And that's what we aim to be. This is an incredibly special season of the Miscarriage Rebellion. In June 2026, we will be 10 years old. That's a decade of impact, a decade of making a difference, of showing up and being there for our community who deserve to be seen, validated, empathised and connected in one of the hardest points in their journeys. Losing a loved baby isn't something that should be glossed over, isn't something that we should shy away from. It is something that deserves so much more support than is currently out there. And we're doing our hardest to make sure that everyone has access to that circle of support. But season 3 is a hopeful season. It's a season of celebration of the difference we've made, and we've got some incredible stories to share with you. Today, I welcome Nat on the podcast. I have known Nat for a few years now. Nat will tell you her story of pregnancy loss, fertility challenges, and welcoming her baby boy. It's an incredible episode that shows how Pink Elephants has reached Nat and her partner on their journey and made a difference for them when they needed it most. I'm really, really grateful to have you here, Nat. I know how hard this can be to sit in a setting like this. It feels incredibly unnatural at times to share something that's so deeply private and personal to many of us. But we share these stories because we know the difference they make for our listeners, and you know that firsthand, and we'll hear that.
Absolutely.
So I'll jump straight in, Nat, and if you want to kind of introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your experience, and we'll go from there.
I mean, I do want to say thank you so much for having me. It's very surreal. Sorry.
It's okay.
I've listened to this podcast like quietly on my commute to work when I was really in the deep depths of grief. With miscarriage, trying to make sense of everything that was happening really gave me strength, and hearing your voice was incredible. I just never imagined I would actually be here sharing my story with you, so thank you.
You're welcome. I'm really grateful to have you here, and I know that your story will help so many women out there.
Thank you. My husband and I were married in January 2024. And like a lot of couples, we wanted to start trying for a family. It was 2 months after we were married that we decided to try. And we imagined it would be very easy, very simple. And we were very lucky. We tried in March and we fell pregnant straight away. And doing that first pregnancy test was just scary and so exciting. It was actually the first time I'd ever seen a positive pregnancy test for myself. So it was an incredible feeling, and it's hard to put words into how we both felt and how I felt, but it was like magic, really. I ended up taking a second test as well a few days later just to be sure, and it was positive. So that was very reassuring, and the excitement sort of began then. We went about our lives, went to work, and I just felt like, wow, I'm going to be a mum. You know, this is really a special moment. And it was I think the 15th of April, I woke up with cramps in the morning, and I felt a bit off, and I thought, oh, maybe this is like implantation, like it can't be anything too serious, like I'll just go about my day. And I went to work, everything is normal, and then I started to get really bad back pain, and I thought, this is a bit unusual. cramps are getting a little bit more intense. And I remember I contacted a friend who's a doctor, and she was lovely. We just spoke through what I should do, and she suggested, just go straight to the hospital. They'll see you straight away. It'll be, you'll be seen to. So I ended up leaving work and I got an Uber and I went straight to RPA hospital, where I was pretty much seen to straight away. It was crazy, walking in and saying, I am so many weeks pregnant. I've had a positive pregnancy test. These are my symptoms now. I was so just unsure of what was going to happen. I was put straight through to RAFT, where I then was hooked up to, IVs. They were doing blood tests. They were doing urine tests. I was getting asked everything. Anyway, I just sat there and, I was in a lot of pain. And I was spotting as well by then. And I remember the nurse came over to me and she said, sorry, but the results of the urine test don't show that you're pregnant. And I was like, what do you mean? I was just kind of beside myself, but in shock. And my blood's come back showing that my HCG level was quite low as well. And I just remember just feeling so isolated, so alone. And I just sat there mind you, I was surrounded by people, obviously. And I didn't know what to do. I remember getting up and going to the bathroom. And there was just so much blood that started to appear, and it was just, I was thinking, this can't be it. Surely this is not the end of this journey. Anyway, I come back to my chair, and I, obviously now being a mum, I understand the pain. I started to get sort of early labour pain, and it was excruciating. And I just remember I was sitting there and I just knew in my, the depths of myself that this was it. Yeah. It was happening. And I remember I was just sitting there and I said to my husband, can you please get the nurse? I just need to take something, because I was trying to be so quiet. So I had all these people, and I just didn't want, obviously, uncontrollable, right? So you want to howl and go through, and I just couldn't, and I just sat there and I just held it in. And then, obviously I'd miscarried. Yeah. And the nurses and doctors had said, this is obviously what's happened. You're welcome to stay, or if you want, you can come back tomorrow morning and go to the early pregnancy clinic, which was in the hospital. And I just said, I want to go home. Yeah, of course. I just don't want to be here anymore. I've had enough, and I feel like I've put my husband through enough. And I just kept saying how sorry I was to Alan, because I just blame myself.
We do. Women do.
Yeah. And then obviously went to the pregnancy clinic the next day, and that was just a whole thing that you don't need when you've been through that. I mean, walking through the doors and being exposed to women that were pregnant so many months showing, and you're just is this fucking real life? That's how I felt. I was just why am I being tortured?
It's no one has considered how painful it is to walk in and be confronted by the very thing that you want more than anything in the world that you've literally just lost.
Yeah. It was it's pretty terrible. But I just tried to stay composed, and I feel like it was such an out-of-body experience already. I just I wasn't crying. I was just in shock, and, I'm here, so what do I do? I had an ultrasound, again, where I was confronted by pregnant women. I remember I walked into the room and was asked before the ultrasound, how many weeks are you? And I'm like, I've just lost a baby. Like I'm not pregnant. But I remember I was just so like normal about it. Like I tried to brush it off and like act like, make light of it, which is just so messed up in its own way. But it was just my way of being like trying to, I don't know, like just, and she was shocked. She was like, okay. So
I think it's also the narratives that we're told around the experience of miscarriage being something that it's quick, it happens early, so therefore you get over it. It's not really a big deal. We're told all these things before we happen, and then it happens, and it can feel completely different inside. But where we have a gap of education, awareness, and language even, we feel this need to have a sense of composure and to not upset anybody else rather than telling our truth.
Absolutely. So, I had that done. Obviously, like you're staring at a screen and there's nothing, and they're telling you that. But, they're saying, obviously, we can see that there was a pregnancy, but there's no longer one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, what next now? And I'm panicking, thinking I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I then spoke to, I believe it was a midwife after, and I had some more bloods done, and my HCG levels were incredibly low then. The rest is really just a blur of just, I don't know, there was just a lot of medical jargon and crap that I just was like, like, what do I do? Yeah. Like, I just felt really lost. I never imagined that I would ever go through this. You do hear about it, but you don't feel like it's ever going to touch your family. And when it does, you're just so unprepared. And I walked away with a pamphlet that said that I had a pregnancy of unknown location. So that was really hard. So it was like, you were pregnant, but we can't see that we can't see that the pregnancy is inside the uterus or outside. So we can only tell that you were based on like bloods that show hormone levels, and that's it, really. And I just felt like I'm just so alone. Yeah.
And you leave hospital and no one follows up. No one calls. No one checks in.
Yeah, it was really hard. But I was reassured that I could try again. Yeah. And when you want something so badly, which we did, we thought, well, we'll just get on the bandwagon and we'll try again. Like, why not? So we did end up trying again in May, and I had a positive pregnancy test in June, which was, again, very exciting, but the excitement was obviously not as great as the first. And there was just a lot of like, okay, so what if this happens again? That whole, the happiness that you have and what you go through when you see that test, it's taken away because you're just like, I wanted it so badly, we wanted it so badly, we got it, and we were very lucky we fell pregnant so quickly again. But it's just like, okay, so what if this is taken away from us? So you just, it's really difficult to be happy.
Yeah, it's hard to lean in and believe and feel the joy that you felt in that first pregnancy, and that's completely normal. Yeah, and actually really understandable when you hear what's just happened to you with that first baby. Yeah, and we hear that so often through Pink Elephants, and again, it's not talked about. There's almost an assumption that if you fall pregnant again, great, we can forget about all that business. Okay, you've had your miscarriage, now you're pregnant, everything's going to be okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And when you tell it like this, it feels like a lot as well, right?
I just haven't told the story. It's crazy. Like, I feel like you pack it away, like it's always there with you, but you pack it away, and then when you come back and you have to actually talk about it and relive everything, it's just like the first time again, almost. Like, it's so raw.
It's painful.
So we fell pregnant the second time. I did another test as well, like the first, just to be sure, and we were pregnant. But I started to experience the same symptoms again, and I knew what was coming, which was really sad.
Yeah.
And I automatically just was like, this is it, it's gonna happen again. And it was like lightning striking twice. And I just thought, surely this is not. I was at work again, of course. And it's always,
the worst time in the worst place.
You need to be so composed, and you don't want people knowing. And it was hard because, people that were close to me in the workplace knew, but not a lot of people. So it was just, I was sort of just trying to brush everything off. I ended up going home early. Alan picked me up, and I just knew, and I thought, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not going to sit in that chair again and go through everything and not be acknowledged for all of that. I'd rather just be in the comfort of my own home and experience everything, which I did. Sorry.
There's no need to apologise. But again, you chose not to go back into a healthcare setting because how difficult that first time was, and it didn't meet your needs. It didn't offer you the empathy or the validation that you needed in that moment.
Yeah.
So you felt safer at home.
The pain obviously was there, and I had a lot of spotting. I woke up that morning at 3 a.m. with excruciating pain, again, like what I experienced before, and I just knew, and that's what killed me, because I thought, that's it now, this is happening. I know I'm losing this baby as well. And I remember I just sat in the shower for 2 hours with just hot water running on my back, just crying and howling, and my poor husband just didn't know what to do. He's just sitting there.
Because there's no conversation around this. So your husband, Alan, doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
My husband was the same. Because we're not talking about this, because we're not taught about it, when this happens, it can be incredibly confronting and almost scary. A lot of people tell us that as well, right?
Yeah.
And it isn't a heavy period. For many of us, it is like those early stages of labour, and we can feel waves of contractions.
Correct.
Because your body is doing what it needs to do.
Correct.
But again, if we're not given the right language or even information about this is what it can be like, when it happens like that, it can be shocking and it confronting and scary.
Yep.
And it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
It's always going to be grief. It's always going to have an element of sadness because we have lost a baby that we loved and we wanted dearly.
Yeah.
We can't take that away, but we can make these experiences better for women and their partners with more education and awareness.
Yeah. I then woke up at 6 a.m, went to the bathroom, and I had passed a lot of clots and a lot of tissue. And I said to my husband, I said, I think we still need to go back to the hospital. I still need to make sure I do the tests, that everything has left my body in case of infection. I automatically just went back to, this is what I need to do, and just kind of took away from that moment of just losing the second baby. So we took the tissue with us to the hospital, and I had some tests done again, bloods, ultrasounds, and was basically given the same information, pregnancy of unknown location. I was approximately 5 weeks pregnant with this one. Again, and I just was like, okay, so there's something clearly not right here. There's something wrong. I don't know what's going on. What do I do? And the midwife there had said, look, we want you to maybe speak to our RPA fertility clinic, see if you can get in to see a fertility specialist.
Yes.
And see your GP. I was like, okay. We'll send off the tissue as well to the labs and see if we can find anything. Because, of course, at this point, we're just we want to find out what's happening, right? We want to know, maybe, you know, we can find out why this is happening to us, especially the second time.
Yeah.
The wait list for the specialist was the 4th of December.
And we're in June now, so that's 6 months away.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I just took that appointment and went, yeah, okay, because again, I just didn't know what to do, and I thought maybe this is the avenue that we're supposed to go down. I don't know, like, and then I continued to have some bloods done, and I was told again that the pregnancy hormone was dropping dramatically, so this is it, like. So by then, I had made an appointment with my GP, Manisha Kelly, Dr. Manisha Kelly, shout out. She's fantastic, and she was who actually connected me with you guys, with Pink Elephants, which was incredible. And she also referred us to Cheryl Fuhr. So we had some hope with what we'd been through, and a plan that was in place. However, we had fallen pregnant again. So it was in July, late July. It was our 3rd pregnancy. And we had an appointment with Cheryl on the 31st of July. So it was like, we went into the appointment and I'm like, I'm pregnant, but she knew because I'd had tests done with my doctor and she'd sent everything off. And she was like, congratulations. And I'm like, thank you. Like, you know. Anyway, she was like, look, it's fine. We're going to start progesterone. Like, everything's going to be okay. I'm going to get you booked in for some ultrasounds as well. We had a trip that was booked to go to New York also at the end of August. So she just wanted to be sure that I had the scans and a viability scan follow-up. So on the 12th of August, we had our first scan and everything looked fine. This was the first ultrasound we'd ever had, and we'd ever seen a baby on the screen. And it was like, just, I can't even put it into words. It was incredible.
You fall in love.
Yeah, the love that we had for this tiny little jelly bean, it was just crazy, and your heartbeat was strong and everything was fine, and yeah, it was perfect. We walked out, we were so happy. We were like, yes, like, this is great. You know, I'm taking the progesterone. It must be working.
Yes,
like,
you think you found your magic. Yeah.
Like, this is what I needed the whole time, and it's going to be okay. And then we went back for the viability scan, and I was 7 weeks. And I just remember, like, I was sitting there and it's like I didn't even hear what she'd said to me. She was very nervous, obviously, and it's like I just didn't even hear it. And then I'm like looking, and you are looking for that flicker when you're looking at the ultrasound. And I remember I didn't see anything. I thought, oh, maybe it's just she's got to maneuver around. And my husband just like collapsed onto me, and I just, it was like we had all of this hope, and we thought we had the answer, and then it seemed promising. You know, my levels were good as well. We saw that there was a heartbeat. How could this happen again for the 3rd time? Anyway, I just remember like leaving there, and I just felt like I wanted to just walk out on literally into the middle of the road. I was just like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
It's so incredibly cruel, especially when it feels like the world just carries on and everyone's going about their normal business, and it's happened again, and you just want to, yeah.
God, it just was like, why, man? Like, why? And then, of course, we had this fucking trip, like, in 2 days, and I'm like, how the fuck are we going to go to this?
Just
like,
don't want to,
I don't want to do anything. I just want to rot in bed and, like, not talk to anyone. Anyway, Cheryl finally got in touch with me, And she was like, I'm going to do a D&C tomorrow. First thing, I want you to go on this holiday. You're going on this holiday. You need this holiday. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't go on this holiday. She was like, you need to go on this holiday. But I was like, okay. She's like, you guys have been through so much and you need this for the two of you right now. And
I do want to acknowledge how beautiful it is that Cheryl could connect those dots for you, and you didn't feel like you had to advocate to have a D&C within a time frame. It felt like someone was caring for you and thinking about what your needs were and looking after you in that moment.
Yeah.
And that isn't common. So I want to acknowledge that.
Oh, she's fantastic. And, you know, she's incredible at what she does, and the way that she speaks to you, it was just very comforting, even though it was a very dark time. And she was like, you'll do all of this, you'll go on your holiday, and then when you come back, right, we're going to find out what's going on. It was like that, you know. So I went and I had the DNC I was at Alexandria, I think Stay Hospital. Yeah, and I just remember like lying there on the bed just before you go out, and I'm like, I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to be a mum. I just thought that. I was like, I'm not going to be a mum now. Like, and that was it, and I went off. And I remember I woke up and had Cheryl in my which was comforting. Yeah. It was like, oh, good, I get to see someone that I know. And she's like, I'm going to call Alan and you can go home. And I was in recovery, and there was just, because obviously like it's a day stay hospital, so there's all sorts of things happening. And I remember there were this baby like next to us crying, and I was just like, okay. Again, I was just so spaced out and out of it, but so hurt and just crumbling inside. And the nurse that was there, she was like, she picked up on it, which was good. And she said, I'm so sorry, I'm just going to like move you, we'll take you somewhere else and you can go home, or just, you know. So I ended up being put on Clexane injections so that we could fly. We went, obviously, on the trip. It was honestly the hardest thing, one of the hardest things. I wanted it to be nice and I wanted it to be special for us, but it just wasn't. It was everything but that. And it was hard because we were with family and no one really understood what we were going through and how it felt. And there were days where I just stayed in bed in the hotel and I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't go anywhere, and I was just so lost and just so upset, but also thinking to myself, I'm here and I'm just away from everything, and I didn't want to go back. Yeah. I didn't want to go back home. I just knew what I was going to face. We ended up finding out the results from my D&C when we got back, and we were quite unlucky. We found out that our baby had trisomy 10 disorder. It's a very rare, severe chromosomal disorder. Where a third copy of chromosome 10 exists. And that was just unlucky. Yeah.
But at this point you're like, fuck you, universe. I'm so over this.
I'm like, it just, fuck. And the other thing that was very confronting and we weren't prepared for with that paperwork that we were given was it gave us a gender. Yeah. And that was the first thing we saw. I was just like, it's a boy.
I've had similar, and there's again no conversation, no preparation, and it's just there in front of you. And for me, it made it, ours was a girl.
Yeah.
And it was also our third loss. It felt real because then...
Yeah, it does. It feels more real.
And again, that news really should be delivered with a lot more sensitivity and empathy.
Yeah.
Because it can be quite confronting, particularly when you didn't ask for it. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know what trisomy 10 is at this point. So Google, of course. Like,
oh, God, yeah.
you know, like, yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, the gender, finding out the gender just absolutely killed us. Like, it just tore us up in ways that we just can't describe, especially like when I knew that's what my husband wanted, a little boy. And I was like, fucking hell, like you said, like the universe is just shitting on you.
At this point, has anyone offered you any counselling at all?
Yes. So when we went back and we saw Cheryl, and we decided to have some tests and scans done, she had offered to speak to IVF Australia, a counsellor, which we did start to do as a couple, which actually was fantastic. It was probably the best thing we could have done for each other, because at that point it was affecting our marriage, our relationship.
Understandably.
Which people don't know, like lots of like even our own family, like we struggled. Even though like Alan is like my absolute rock, and there's just, I couldn't ask for anyone better to have experienced and gone through this with. It's made us so strong and our marriage so strong. You know, like this sort of experience, it's just like, it's so taxing, and I feel like it just puts years on your relationship.
Yes.
And we'd only just been married for like, you know, so many months. It was just crazy that we'd already been through so much together. But yeah, in saying that, the counselling was good, and it gave Alan an opportunity to obviously share how he felt. He did his own support counselling as well. He had to, whereas with me, I kind of did this, and then I just went back to work and I pretended like I'm fine. Like I'm just, I tried to be hard. I tried to just, you know.
Brave face it.
Yeah, and just get through like putting my head down and going to work. And Alan really struggled. But yeah, through all of this, we then, as I said, we started to have some further testing done. Obviously, Alan had a semen analysis test. He got all the ticks of approval. So count, motility, morphology, everything was fine. I found out my AMH was quite low as well with these tests, because, of course, when we were being pregnant, like I couldn't do these tests when we met with Cheryl on the 31st as well. So now that I'm not pregnant, I could do all these other tests and things. I had a genetic carrier screening done, no problem. And I did a series of blood tests where we had picked up that I had factor 5 Leiden. And I remember Cheryl called me and she was like, oh, Natalie, I found something like this, da, da, da. Mind you, I'm at work, and every time she would call me, I would have to like run and hide like somewhere so no one knew what I was talking about. And like I could just be, you know, in a quiet space if I needed to be emotional. And I just didn't even really know what it was at the time. And she said, you know, this is like a blood clotting disease, and it can affect, obviously, the pregnancies that you've had in the past. We don't know what happened with the first ones. We know what's happened with the third one, but this could definitely be like a factor, a contributing factor. It does increase the risk of pregnancy loss. I think it's 2 or 3 times more likely to have like multiple recurring miscarriages in women that have this condition. So she had said, you'll need to go on Clexane injections for the next pregnancy, and we'll use progesterone as we have in the past. I said, okay. I also did a sonohystogram because she wanted to see the shape
Of your uterus.
Of my uterus. So that was interesting. That was painful. That was a horrible test. Bloody horrible test. I found out that I had, what was the condition? Adenomyosis, which is a type of endometriosis. So there's endometrial tissue that is present in the muscle lining of uterus. So I was like, okay,
another thing.
What does that mean? I don't know, but just another thing to add to everything. So Cheryl was obviously wanting us to decide what we wanted to do. We could either do IVF or we could do cycle tracking. And she said, it's up to you guys. I don't want you to have to go through the pain and all of that again. And we decided that we wanted to do the cycle tracking and with IVF Australia, and we did. So we didn't actually go through IVF. And November 25th, we had a positive test, and that was our little rainbow baby that we have now. So through the poking, the prodding, all the tests, everything, I think the 230 odd Clexane injections that I'd taken, because it was as soon as we found out with Cheryl, we started that, and then at 37 weeks I stopped, and then I had to take 6 weeks after the delivery as well. It was a crazy ride, and I'm so grateful. At that point, I would do anything,
Yes.
I was I'll stand on my head for 3 hours every night just to make sure that this baby comes. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience being pregnant, but so daunting at the same time. You go to every ultrasound, holding your breath, you feel sick, you want to vomit. You're looking for that flicker every single time. All the blood tests. I remember when we were doing the tracking and I found out I was pregnant, I went to IVF Australia nearly every day.
Yeah.
Checking my hormone levels like a nut job, because I just needed to know. And it was same thing. I'm at work, I went and hid, and I'm on the phone going, yep, okay, so that's pretty good. Yep, they're high, cool, no worries. I had to know. Yep. I was just...
And you can breathe out for a tiny moment when you get that little bit of good news.
Yeah.
But then it's almost what we hear and what I experience is it just comes back again. That anxiety and that fear and all of second guessing every little feeling.
Yep.
Every time you go to the toilet, checking for blood.
Yep.
Yeah. Pregnancy after loss is an absolute, I can't even think of the word right now, but
it's a whole other phase of what you go through with this.
Everyone again assumes that a miscarriage is a point in time. That how awful that you had 3 losses back to back, but then they assume, okay, so you've got so far in this pregnancy now, this baby's going to come. You're okay because you passed this 12-week marker. But we talked about this on the phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't just magically disappear.
So you're holding your baby. To me, that was that's when I will feel the comfort that he's here safe and it's all going to be okay. And everything I ate, I didn't even take Panadol. I was so strict with everything that I did. I tried so hard to make sure that I didn't contribute anything. I wouldn't miss an injection. I just was... This was so precious. This baby was so precious to me, and I just would do anything to make sure that he got here safe. And it was... even when we got we had that third pregnancy test and seen that it was positive and we got the blood work and everything. The excitement obviously is there again, but it's just... That light is just dimmed because of all the trauma, of everything you've been through, the people that you speak to, the experiences you have with family, with friends, passing comments, just the language that we've spoken about that's just terrible in some ways.
So if we consider that, what language, what did you need to hear from loved ones, family, friends? What do you think they need to do to show up for yourself when you're in a moment perhaps you've just had your second loss?
Obviously, all you want to hear is sorry, right? I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah. I'm sorry this is happening to you. Sometimes people just don't know how to react. They don't know what to say, and the silence doesn't help. people might think that silence is fine. When you go through something like this, even if it's one time in your life, I mean, we experienced it 3 times. It's such a painful thing that you can't put words into, and to not even have an acknowledgement of anything is crazy. Like, not even a hug, nothing. I think obviously the loss is the hardest thing, but we spoke about too, how people felt uncomfortable to talk about it, and you are worried about their feelings and how they're going to respond, and so you don't say anything or you don't talk about it. And it's a topic that you think, oh, it's too much for that person to handle, so we won't go there and have that conversation. But
they're scared of upsetting us, so they feel like they say nothing is better. But actually then we feel even more hurt by the silence and the isolation, because we feel like they don't see our grief. We feel like they're not acknowledging it.
yeah,
And I feel like they don't truly understand what we're going through.
it just would have been nice to just... And I mean, look, we did have people, obviously I can't take away from that, we did have people that reached out to us, and friends and family that were supportive in that sense, but there was a lot of people too that didn't.
Yeah, they didn't get it. And again, it's not on them in many ways. It's on this conversation in society starting much earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I have conversations with my children around miscarriage. They know that there were 3 more babies in our family that didn't get to make it. And if someone asks us, then they get included in our family.
Yeah.
Because what I want to raise, particularly with my boy, like, I want him to be able to have conversations around miscarriage really confidently, because chances are I get to parent 3 children now. The chances are that 3 of those, one of them might actually have to go through this themselves.
Yeah.
And it can't stay the same. We have to change this for them now.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously when my doctor had suggested, and Cheryl did too, I have to say, she did as well. And I was like, I'm already like onto it. And she was like, that's good. But yeah, I think I went to your website first and I had a flick through, and I went to the Instagram page, and it sort of summarised a lot of like what you had on your website. And I just thought, fuck, this is how I feel. These people get it. Like, this is exactly what I want to say to someone. This is exactly how I'm feeling right now. And I just loved it, and I connected so deeply. And then I'm pretty sure it was on your Instagram page, I think I came across the podcast. And this is when we were really in the thick of it. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a listen. I don't know what I'm going to hear. And I'm so glad that I did, because it really helped me so much. Those commutes to work, when I just felt like I had that like 30, 40 minutes to myself to hear your voice every day.
That's strange, but yeah,
It's
I get it.
comforting. And to hear the other ladies share their stories was very empowering, and the connection I felt and that sense of belonging to, yes, this is exactly what we're going through, and I feel like this. And it helped me hearing other people. You know, we were breaking the silence essentially, right?
Yeah.
To this whole topic. And I just, I felt like I really needed that. I needed to hear other people's experiences. That's just me. That's what I needed. And I needed to, just, I suppose, after decompress and go, you know what, like, this is really good. This is what I needed. And then when I felt like I couldn't share my story and explain that to it, like a family member or a friend, I sent them the podcast, and I would say, can you listen to this? Go like 2 minutes, such and such, and this is actually what I am experiencing right now. This is what we found as well. Like, we sent it to our parents, I sent it to friends, and I sent it to, oh my God, I did Alan's head in. I did his head in. I was like, oh, listen to this one, listen to this one, listen to this. And it was just honestly what I needed. And I know everybody needs something different, but I needed to hear other people share their stories.
I hear that so much because it's something beautiful about hearing someone else's story and feeling less alone in your own.
Yeah.
Because you feel seen.
Yeah.
And it's a language that we use as well, because there is that knowing of, oh, they just get this. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I connected with you both the first time when Pink Elephants held like a walk.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, in a West Glebe
It was
way.
in Glebe.
Yeah. I remember both of you there. And I remember feeling a bit bad because I had my children with me. Like I said, my husband was overseas, and I was like, oh my God, I've started this thing to help people. And I could see that you guys were definitely in the depths of it. There's just a knowing, because I've been there too, right? And then I've got like Rose, my youngest, and she was like a toddler at the time. And I just,
So cute.
it's, she's wild. But I remember feeling bad. And I remember thinking, oh, are we doing more harm than good here? But then we chatted and it wasn't that, was it?
It was so fun. And there were a lot of other women there, partners, like they had their kids, and we were fine with it. It was beautiful actually. Yeah. And it was nice to connect with other people there as well and share stories and what others had been through. And
it makes a difference again. It's just that sense of connection, right? Which reduces the isolation.
Absolutely.
And I share that because I hope what people hear is that I don't always get this right either. I've got lived experience. I'm leading from my heart and my experience and from listening to you guys and other people, and I'm trying my hardest too. And what I want people to hear is you don't have to get this right every time. We just need you to show up and be there. And often that makes the biggest difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it was really nice. I'm glad that we went. It took me a while to get out of the car, but I mustered up the courage and
And then I followed your journey since, because I remember connecting on Instagram, and I can't tell you that, like, there's some people that I get to connect with, and there's this kind of like holding space, and you're like, please, please, please let it be their turn soon. Please, please, please. Yeah. And then I saw your beautiful baby boy, and there's just this absolute immense joy that I feel in those moments, and I get to love what I get to do, the privilege it is when I get to see those. It's amazing. I guess what I think we should wrap on is we've looked back, we've looked at your experience, and we're kind of using this series, to look at a decade of impact. What change would you like to see? What hope is there for the future for women and partners like us that have gone through this? What should it be like for them?
It's hard, because there are such great support networks like yourself, but it's still so hard to find. And it's hard to find, I think, for partners, definitely, who don't know what to do for a grieving partner. And I would hope that there are more doctors that are educated, that understand how they need to speak, what they need to provide. Even suggesting counselling at an early stage, like why is it that you need to go through multiple losses for that then to be, given to you as an option to get through what you're going through. And I think as well for family members and friends, because they also need educating, and it's not up to you. It's the person who's experiencing this or the couple that's experiencing this. I would like to see that there's something there that reaches further in that sense, where if you aren't sure what to say to someone, just for them to know that you're there and what to say. It's just it's very hard. It's very hard because I feel like we are put in those positions to say what we want or what we need, and it would be nice if they had the tools. I don't know what that looks like.
I do.
Good.
I can't help but go there. I hear a couple of things there. I think that we did actually chat about this as well, that if, for example, someone was going through domestic violence, we don't expect them to advocate for themselves in that moment. Yeah. We expect that the system is set up to support them at different points and make a difference. If someone is going through, say, a cancer diagnosis, the same. They are wrapped in holistic care and support. Yeah. Any other type of bereavement, you're offered counselling straight away. Yeah. Yet miscarriage has been so underserved. The narratives that exist around it are so false and that have perpetuated this myth that we just get on with it because it was early and it didn't really matter. And I'm here to say that's absolute bullshit for the majority of us. We feel these losses deeply, profoundly. We love our babies. What we want is them acknowledging. We want our grief seen and acknowledging. We want to be empathised with. We want to be met where we are. We want you to wrap us in love and support like you would any other type of loss. And we want you to connect us to support. So if you are listening to this because someone like Nat, a family member, has sent this to you to understand, there are things that you can do. And I urge you to spend 2 minutes on Pink Elephant's website and have a look. We've got a Use Your Words resource. We've got how to support a loved one on there. It takes less than a couple of minutes to educate yourself, to then be that person for your loved one and show up for them how they need you to.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
Because I know what bravery it takes to come to sit here and to share something that is deeply personal, painful, and to share it. And you share it because you know it will help someone. That's so, so brave, and it makes such a difference. And we can't do this without other people walking alongside us and being part of this collective. So I thank you so much. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah.